What's up, guys? Back again. I'm your host, Dame Sherritt. Welcome to the Unpro Pro Rugby Show, the Top Rugby Show. I'm gonna get straight into that. Ireland versus Scotland, 36-14. Ireland put on an absolute clinic. I said in the preview, it's gonna come down to who can turn. There's little opportunities that you get in the game. You're in the 22 or you're in the opponent's half, who can turn them into points. Ireland did that the first 2 minutes. The first 2 minutes. Anyone thought there was any doubt who's the favourites and who's Ireland are out and out favourites to win this? If they lose against All Blacks in the quarterfinals, it'll be a shock. That's a shock because Ireland are out and out the favourites. They come out firing in this game. I thought like it was either going to it was going to go one of two ways. I thought it was going to be really tight. Scotland were going to keep up, or Ireland were going to blow them out of the park. And that's kind of what they did. They come out absolutely firing. Ireland's shape, we'll stick to Ireland now. Ireland's shape on attack, it's unmatched. And I've seen someone say something about Johnny Sexton has been doing the loops around the back for the past 10 years, and no one has stopped him, and no one has stopped him. They've added an extra player in the blind winger coming around. They've got so many guys running those dummy lines. Everyone knows where and when to be, even if they're out of position. I feel like they know exactly where they need to be, when they need to be there. Are you running flat? Are you holding your feet and staying deep and playing? You're just the link. Do you take the ball to the line a bit? Unreal. And I thought right after they scored their try, they then showed their structure on defense as well for the next 10 or 15 minutes, where Scotland were throwing everything at them. There was a few turns there, I think twice, where Scotland had opportunities to kick to post and they didn't. And Gregor Townsend afterwards said that that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to come out fire. They wanted to come out and score tries, not just kick penalties. Because, man, I feel like now if you want to beat Ireland, you have to be scoring tries because you know they're going to be scoring tries. The second try that Keenan scored off the first phase, off a line out, they hit they hits off the line out. You got Bundy Aki. No, he come out. Sexton looped straight. And what he does really well is when he gets the loop pass, he doesn't just pass, he straightens the line. And what that does is it stops the outside defender from drifting out. Because if Sexton's just going to pass straight away, that outside defender or his defender can just drift out and put pressure on the next attacking player with the ball. Where Sexton does perfectly is he's already running on a loop, but then he straightens up, so he keeps that defender on him, which means that his play is straightened up. And you saw how Bundy Aki then had to run that short line where he got in half break, played short to Ringrose, and then it was just drawn pass and Keenan went over in the corner. It's just clinically everything perfect to the T. It's beautiful, especially with first phase. You don't always expect to score or first phase, but man, when they run it that well, execution is that good, man, you're shocked when you don't score first phase. I thought they just throughout the game, just relentless. Yes, Scotland scored 2 tries within 2 minutes or so in the second half. Other than that, so that's for 78 minutes, Ireland were just at them. On defense, on attack, just at them. Scrapping for everything, just relentless. And that's what the difference between the guys that are going to, like the teams that are going to make it and the ones that aren't. And I might be swallowing my words this time next week because I think I'm backing All Blacks to win, to beat Ireland. I think mainly because All Blacks first have been there and done it. And then secondly, Ireland and World Cup quarterfinals don't match. But I'll get to a preview on that another time. Let's just talk about how good Ireland were against Scotland in this game, because they were. clinically, everything they did well. Great that I mean, not great, but Johnny Sexton only played his 40 or 50 minutes and they pulled him straight off. But everything he did in those 50 minutes was just perfect. How he sits in the back, sits in the pocket, tells everyone exactly what to do, where to be, when to be there, executes to a T. He's kicking out of hand. He's kicking to goal. He's excellent. I mean, he's been there and done it in the test realm, but whether that can now step into the World Cup stage, and they've got the team for it. They definitely have the team for it. It'll be a shock if they get beat in the quarters, I think. But yeah, and again, I thought the loose trio for Ireland very impressive. Always there. Oman, it was his Peter Omani's 100th game. We're just a dog weapon getting through the work. That Van der Fleer also gets through a ton of work. So man, they deserve it. Ireland deserve to be in the position they are. They've done everything they can to go on and then win this. Everything they can for now. But like I said before, the pool stages, that's just the curtain raiser. When it's knockout time, that's when you need to shine, man. So it's whether they can step up to that next level. Jumping over to Scotland, man, I think there'd be I was a little bit disappointed. In saying that, like Ireland were really, really good, clinical with everything. I thought Scotland was shell-shocked right off the bat. Like I said, it would come down to when you get the opportunity to score tries or score points, you need to be taking them. Like I mentioned before, those first two opportunities they got where they didn't go fine. Yes, they didn't go to posts to kick for the 3 points for penalty. They went to touch, but then you need to score. You need a score. I think there's a couple times there where Finn Russell was getting the ball and he kind of like third, fourth phase didn't know what to do with it. There was no options, no one running off the ball for him. When they did eventually score those 2 tries, there was more flow. There was more options. Guys were running into holes, giving Finn Russell space. Because man, when he gets on the front foot, he's an absolute one of the best. I think that's the only reason. Not the only reason, but one of the reasons why Sexton had the better, or Ireland had the better, was the Irish forward pack were going forward. Every single opportunity they had, scrums, lineouts, going forward. Bundy Aki going forward. Makes it so much easier for the rest of the team. I think it's a pity for Scotland, especially for that squad. I don't think that squad deserves to be kicked out in the pool stages. That is a really strong squad they have there. I think this comes back to when and how the pools are picked. Because to be honest, Scotland, in England, Argentina, Samoa, that pool, Japan pool, they winning. They're in the quarters. Blindfolded. They're in the quarters. So very unlucky for them. But yeah, and like that's another thing where I think the top 2 teams of each pool are going through. Obviously, I think the next 2, so 3rd and 4th in the pool. So 5th drops out, 3rd and 4th should be playing their own, like, you know what I mean? Because man, you'd want to be seeing more of like Scotland, more of the Wallabies, more of the likes of Georgia and Portugal. Like, hopefully World Rugby does a bit more for those guys after seeing what has happened at this World Cup and how well these other teams have played, and to get them more games. We want to see them. Now I'm just wearing off here. Catch the preview or the review of week 5 in the next episode, guys. That was Scotland versus Ireland. Ireland too strong, man. 36-14, too strong. Let's see if they can get it through the quarters.